Hello! My name's Jake Allen Graham, my audience. My newcomers. I'm doing a review on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. I'm doing a review on all three of them, including the 2.1 cut and the editor's cut of Spider-Man 3 and the theatrical cut of Spider-Man 3. In addition to the editor's cut. Besides the 2.1 cut of Spider-Man 2. And, I'm giving them a 10 out of 10 by swallowing my pride and giving them a 10 out of 10. Because it's fun. For the first one, I notice has lots of shitty CGI effects mixed with shitty practical effects that look fake. And it's easy to stand out both. But that's not my problem with. I have a problem with the dated CGI for 2002 Spider-Man movie. So what if the CGI is shit? That doesn't matter. So what if Ian Maguire does an unconvincing, unrelatable, not funny version of Spider-Man? That's the complete opposite from his comic book. That's the complete opposite from his comic book counterpart, outside of what he looks like, and the Spider-Man name. This it's like not comic book accuracy is not the most important. The originality ideas, I guess, is what the most important thing is. So what? This movie wasn't made for me. So what if Spider-Man was always my favorite Marvel character from Marvel? Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and as a kid and also as an adult, sadly. And this made me be embarrassed to be a Spider-Man fan as a 5-year-old kid when I first saw it, when it came out at that age. I was 5 in 2002. That's when I turned 5. And, I'm giving all the Spider-Man trilogy a 10 out of 10. So what if I have problems with everything about the movie and can't say a good thing to say about the first Spider-Man movie or the sequel outside of the villains? Can't say he's that much different in Spider-Man 3, although he's given better jokes, one-liners to the insults to the villains, I wish kind of hit more over him in the third one, before he gets the symbiote, and, I liked him more as the Black Spider-Man, more as the standard traditional Spider-Man. Because Maguire always fitted the personality of something emo, whiny, when he was trying to play your standard Spider-Man, that he could never fit because he's an emo, whiny douchebag. Comes across. Probably is. In real life. He sure is an ugly fella. He looks like a hybrid of a frog and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Toad from the Bay universe. He looks like Shrek, a human version of Shrek. Tobey Maguire. Looks like a frog-like feature. His face. Doesn't look like Spider-Man. He's ugly and not handsome. He was the worst looking Spider-Man and the least looking of the Peter Parkers, accurately. Looking like a Peter Parker, I thought. And he looks like not a teenager in this movie. He looks like he's pushing 30. And I hear he was when he made this movie. And I was never convinced that he wasn't almost out of his 20s. Because to me, he looked old to be Spider-Man. In this flick, because he's playing the teenager Spider-Man in high school. And then still the teenager Spider-Man because he just leaves high school at the end of this, before the movie's over, and doesn't go to college until the sequel, Spider-Man 2. And running late for classes often because of Spider-Man duty and the Spider-Man 2 events. That's spoiler for the promo Spider-Man 2. I just going into this up. This movie's a 10 out of 10, then so the Spider-Man Trilogy is a 10 out of 10, even though it feels like it highly recognized the iconic character from the comics, just how he speaks. Within the costume and out of the costume as the Peter Parker role. He is both just equally as unconvincing as Seth Rogen is as the Green Hornet. I personally hate Maguire more than Seth Rogen's Green Hornet portrayal. From 2011, I think, came out, that Green Hornet movie with Seth Rogen. My favorite Spider-Man movie in the trilogy is still Spider-Man 3. My second favorite is Spider-Man 1. My third favorite Spider-Man the last one is I pick Spider-Man 2.1 is a better movie than Spider-Man 2, I think. Because the writing's more scenes of the writing. I mean, Spider-Man 2.1 is a dumber movie and it drags on more. But it has more of that Spider-Man charm that you like from Spider-Man 2. There's more of it. The dumb writing from Spider-Man 2. And this 2.1 cut, just more of the good stuff. Dumb writing, of the fucking funny runny. Dumb writing. And I'm just going to have to accept the fact, thanks to the fact of No Way Home, that this takes place in the multiverse in an Elseworld universe where Spider-Man is not supposed to be funny or smart or competent hero. This is the one where Spider-Man is not cool, nor funny, nor a compelling, interesting, relatable character. This is the Spider-Man for the family values crowd that want to make him more marketable like Batman. brooding, quiet, and almost all the time very says rarely anything. Just like Batman, absolutely nothing like Peter Parker, Spider-Man from the 616 or Ultimate Universe comics. And the Ultimate Universe was out a little bit by now in the comics. So they've been around for a bit, so it's not really. I don't know why this movie felt like it betrayed me more than the last Airbender movie, 2010, betrayed me. More than Green Hornet's Seth Rogen betrayed me. This betrayed me all 3 installments with Tobey Maguire, including his revival run in Spider-Man 4, known as Spider-Man 3, known as Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man Tom Holland's movie, when he played a role and then there stayed. I hated him. As ever. As I did. I don't want a Spider-Man 4 with Maguire. Maybe with Andrew Garfield if he ever does Spider-Man 3 with his Spider-Man. Since we're getting a 4th Spider-Man with Tom Holland's. Andrew Garfield's Tobey Maguire is an overrated actor in this movie. In all 3 of them, Spider-Man movies. He gives a shitty, lousy performance. He gives the charismatic performance as from the last Airbender movie, 2010, after M. Night Shyamalan renamed him to from Aang to You asshole, Shyamalan, why did you do that? That's as dumb as this Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. Everything was Tobey Maguire's what's wrong with this movie. He should have been edited out the entire trilogy and be recasted or replaced with a different you should got a different director, or that tells him, or get a different director that tells Maguire, hey, try harder to act. Or get acting, go back to acting school, or acting class, whatever they call it. Maguire to act again better as a Spider-Man. He should have. Not just phoned the fuck in, which he did in the trilogy, I think. He phoned in more in the trilogy than he phoned it in the Spider-Man video games that he played Spider-Man in. When he played his version of Spider-Man in the video games, they made 3 video games of Spider-Man with Maguire's Spider-Man that loosely take inspiration from the source material, the movies, all 3 of them took original course for the games. And Maguire, I liked his performance better, and also I liked the writing better in Spider-Man games that Spider-Man Maguire played in. Then I liked him in the Spider-Man movies. I liked his performance more in the games, where he kind of failed again, in all three games, with the voice acting of Spider-Man and Peter Parker. He's not convincing in either role. So, on the bright side, the action's top-notch, visually directed by Sam Raimi. In all three installments, the action's good, with the villains and Spider-Man action pieces, sets, shots are really cool. Those are the highlights of the movie, the action, how it's shot. I mean, shot like a Spider-Man comic. Even though it doesn't feel like a Spider-Man comic because of Maguire, it's constantly giving a phone-in performance. Oh, he just doesn't try. So, now I'm going to talk about, before I talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, and I am going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home, okay? Hang on. I realized my sock was inside out. Okay. So, that was my review on the Spider-Man trilogy, what Sam Raimi did. And why I give the Sam Raimi trilogy a 10 out of 10. My favorite one's the third one, the theatrical cut of Spider-Man 3. Second favorite is the first one, from 2002. I will talk about Spider-Man No Way Home in a separate video, because I realize it's been going on for 19 minutes long, this video. That's why I give the Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Maguire and directed by Sam Raimi a 10 out of 10. Best being Spider-Man 3 trilogy. And the trilogy is the third one. It's best for last. And I love the dancing with Black Suit Spider-Man. The jazz dance. And him hitting MJ. Hilarious. Comedy gold. I mean, cinematic. Classic. Writing. Genius. Gold writing. For Spider-Man. McGuire's one. I'm ashamed he had to get rid of the black suit. I wish he kept it. I love this movie's reimagining on Venom and Sandman and Harry Osborn becoming New Goblin. A Green Goblin of his own. I like the reimagining of the costume. The Goblin costume. Like the reimagining of Sandman design, how it looks. And how his powers work. And I like the reimagining the look of the Black Suit Spider-Man, the Venom. I like the performance casting from Venom and Sandman and Doc Ock and Green Goblin and all of the villains from the Spider-Man trilogy I liked. More than Spider-Man himself. The original one. Not counting the Black Suit Spider-Man. He's too cool. He's more of a villain than hero. But he is cool. As a brooding or darker vigilante. But I don't think he does anything like villainish in the movie. He doesn't commit any crimes. He doesn't try killing one. He the only thing that does is hit MJ. But she was always kind of a bitch. I never liked her in the trilogy. I didn't. I always thought she was a bitch war. And I'm grateful to Peter Parker and deserved it. When you think about it, she kind of, had it coming. I mean, she always was, always, and then I was a little surprised, it was kind of funny. When bad things happen to sleazy women. Like MJ. In Spider-Man trilogy. All three of them. So that's my review on the Sam Raimi's trilogy with Spider-Man. Which he did. All 3 installments he directed. That's my review on Spider-Man trilogy. And the reason why I'm giving them a 10 out of 10 because they're visual popcorn films. Movies. Dumb, retarded popcorn movies. Like, Matthew Broderick's Inspector Gadget. That's a good popcorn movie. Or the Seth Rogen Green Hornet movie. That's a good popcorn movie. It's a good example of popcorn movies. Good like every Seth Rogen movie that he made in starred in and wrote it by Seth Rogen. I don't know if he's ever directed any of his movies, but I know he's wrote in his movies sometimes and directed and starred and stuff. I like Seth Rogen's stuff more, all of Seth Rogen's stuff more than the Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire, even Sausage Party. I just think Seth Rogen has more relatable, interesting, complex characters than Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man trilogy came out in his final form. And I think Happy Gilmore is a more complex character than Spider-Man. I don't know if Happy Gilmore trilogy is going to happen, but I know Happy Gilmore 2 has happened, and I hope for the third one to happen. Because I like Adam Sandler more as making characters like Happy Gilmore than I like Sam Raimi making characters and butchering, taking his own faithful design, interpretation with the characters like Spider-Man, and just like, winking it out of his ass, it feels like he was with this, Maguire. I'm not saying Maguire trilogy is not, Maguire trilogy is not as good as the Seth Rogen stuff, as all Seth Rogen stuff. And Adam Sandler stuff I've seen. That's why I give the Spider-Man trilogy was Tobey Maguire. And all of the extended cuts of 2 and 3 for Spider-Man, I give all of them a 10 out of 10. Solid, mediocre writing. That is dumbest conclusion for an action movie it comes across. All 3 of them. So, that's my review on the Spider-Man trilogy, and I forget what I was going to say. Oh yeah, feel free to comment below, leave the comment section on, hit the like button, please subscribe, please like my video. Well, don't comment below if you don't have anything to say. Then you don't have to comment below if you don't want to. But like the video and hit the subscribe button. Goodbye.